Is this a Steve Lavin special?
It is. I guess they're selling them around town, so I'm guessing we'll see a few of them in the crowd on Wednesday night.
Hey, with that first matchup against St. John's, obviously they crashed the glass really hard, forced some turnovers, made it tough for you guys to get good looks from three. Like, how do you reverse all of those trends and make it a different result moment?
Well, I would argue we had some pretty good looks at three, especially Mitch and Tyshawn. They had a rough night shooting it. We had some good shots. Live ball turnovers were a big part of that game, some of which led to some run-out baskets. We had the game in control. With 5 minutes left in the first half, we were up 9, and Shamari went on his own little run, banked in a three, hit a tough three, made a tough runner. But we got back in it. We got it to 5 again in the second half and had chances, just weren't able to finish it. And a lot of it had to do with St. John's. They're extremely talented.
Did they throw any wrinkles at you defensively to make it harder for you guys to get the ball into Martine and just get the ball in the teeth of the defense in general?
Well, they switch everything, even when they switch, they've got some pretty good length to switch with. Simon's got a 7-foot wingspan, and Clark's long. Figueroa is very long, 6'7". So you think you have a mismatch potentially, but they do a pretty good job helping on the backside, and they've got good length on the ball and make those skip passes kind of difficult. So, they're a good defensive basketball team, and their numbers would show that as well.
Tyshawn got Big East Player of the Week. What's he done the last week?
Well, obviously he's scored the ball well, and hit a huge shot at Georgetown to give us a lead. I'm more impressed with some of the things he's done besides scoring. He made a couple unbelievable plays against Butler where he was first to the floor, making extra effort plays that hasn't exactly been part of his MO up to this point. So, we need him to continue to do that. He's been a rock for us most of the season for such a young player. So he was very deserving of the award this week.
You talked about the difference between the last couple of weeks and your trending now upward being the toughness that you go on the floor itself, and that's been kind of a theme for the team. Right? Is that what you see?
Yeah, I mean we've spent some time on it in practice, and it's a fine line you walk when you're as thin as we are right now due to injury, and where we're relying on some guys to play some big minutes, yet you get some tough, hard work done in practice at the same time when you're approaching February 1st. So, we've been able to continue to do that. We're shortening up the sessions in which we do that, but it has to ring true in guys' minds. And they're competitors, and we've been able to show them on film when it isn't happening, and what there's going to be a consequence when it doesn't happen, and oftentimes we're losing the game. So, hopefully the fact that we played with a little bit more energy and effort against Butler carries over Wednesday night.
Talk to Caleb. Caleb's role on this team, how difficult or unique is it to get a guy to buy into a role like that, being what he's done and what he's gone through to be at this level? And all, he talks about team over me all the time.
And I think that's typical of a senior. At least you hope that by the time you're a senior, you think about the team more than you do yourself. But Caleb's always thought about the team since the day he arrived on campus. He's a great teammate. Besides having to accept a role as a senior that maybe is a difficult one to accept, he's also made a position change, which isn't the easiest sometimes either. But he's hit critical shots for us. Hit a big one. Hit a big one the other night. Hit one against Georgetown, and we're going to need him to continue to play well for us down the stretch.
How much of what you did on the glass, or maybe from lockout standpoint the last 2 games, is do you think that you can carry over? I mean, it's a good blueprint, I know, but how much?
Well, we have to carry it over. Because we don't have a guy that's going to go to the top of the square and get a rebound. We have to do it. We have to do our work on the floor with fundamentals, and we've cleaned some of that up. St. John's, while they don't send a lot of the guys to the glass, they hurt us in New York on even one guy that goes in there and kind of slips through unnoticed. Sometimes when a team doesn't send people, you get a false sense of security that nobody's going, and you don't do your job. And that happened to us when we were in Queens, and we got to clean that up Wednesday.
Does he get a cut? I mean,
Hell no. Hell. He should be paying for this. He really should.
Was it his idea?
No, it wasn't. It was somebody else's idea.
John?
You can go.
Chop chop. No? All right. He said go ahead. Hey, what did you guys learn about yourselves in that first meeting against St. John's?
I thought we learned that we need to be a little bit more ball tough, a little more disciplined, and a little more selective on the defensive end. I think, but we also learned that we have a lot of potential and that we can be one of the best teams in the Big East when we put everything together.
Even in that game, were you guys confident that you could turn it around? Because that's at the end of that 4-game stretch, right?
Yeah. I think every game we go into, we're pretty confident. We trust the coaching staff's game plan, and in our ability to come out with the win.
Caleb, those last 2 games you guys have won, what's been the difference these last 2 games?
The difference the last 2 games have been the toughness things, the little things that don't necessarily show up in the box score, diving on the floor, being the first team to hit the floor on a loose ball, winning the 50-50 balls, boxing out every possession, just the little things that don't necessarily show up but make the biggest difference in the wins and loss column.
Has this changed kind of the mood of the team?
Oh, of course. Everything's always better when you're winning, but the thing is not to get content and realize that we still have a lot of the season left ahead of us.
Hey, Shamari's kind of a guy that can score no matter what position you put him in defensively, but what is the key to making it, I guess, giving your defense the best chance to make sure he doesn't get going?
Well, I mean, there are certain guys, at this level, like, you're going to face guys that just have the ability to put the ball in the basket. So no matter what you throw at certain guys, they're going to get their shots, they're going to get their points. But it's about everything else, every other aspect of the game. How do we defend the rest of the guys in the court? In the shots that we do give him, are they challenged enough to not let him feel super comfortable? So I think like the last 2 games, it's going to come down to being disciplined and just being tough.
With his vision and his ability to make just those cross-court passes as quick and on the money as he does, like, how tough is it for a defense to, I guess, overhelp to him and leave other guys open?
Yeah, it's definitely tough, but if you want to win games, you're going to have to win against tough competition. That's just the way it is in the Big East. So we're up for the challenge, and that's just something that we're going to have to get prepared for.
How difficult is it to stay in it? That's part of the deal. You got to stay in every possession, even when you're not playing, so you are ready when your numbers come. Has that been an evolution or a learning process for you to be able to handle that?
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely been a learning process. I think it takes patience, and it just takes a level of maturity and selflessness. I think the biggest thing is putting we before me and understanding that you can't help the team if you're not engaged. And when your number is called, you have to be mentally tough enough to go out there and provide whatever we need, whether it be on the defensive end or the offensive end. It's just a level of mental fortitude and toughness.
But is that something that came naturally to you, or did you have to kind of adjust? Because obviously when you're in high school, you don't think of yourself doing what you're doing, but your role is very vital to what you guys are doing.
Yeah, I think over time it gets a little bit easier, but it's never like an easy task, I think we're all competitors. We all want to be on the court as much as possible. But the thing is, how can you turn 1 minute to 3 minutes? And I think by doing that, you put the team before yourself, and you have to be prepared at all times. Stay engaged and just continue to work on your craft. So when your number is called, you are prepared.
Caleb, I think St. John's had 14 offensive boards against you in that first meeting. What maybe did you guys not do that you would like to do better, I guess, in that area?
The things that we did the last 2 games is exactly what we need to do. And I think if we would have done those things, the outcome of the game would have been a lot different. We talked about defense, getting on the floor first. If we do those things this next time around, I think the result of the game would be different.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, no problem.
Appreciate it.
Good job.
Caleb.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Hey, what's it mean to be selected Big East Player of the Week?
It's a great honor. Sitting there putting in the time and the work for it, and also having a team behind my back to sit to help me out as well. And it's a big accomplishment for me. I like it a lot.
Is it a validation for your hard work?
I mean, yeah. It's just great to sit there and show that all my hard work and dedication I'm putting throughout the summer, and credits to Marcus and Taz to help me out a lot to prepare myself for where I am right now.
Where is this team mentally as it was compared to maybe 2 weeks ago? It's got to be night and day that type of thing?
We're getting along a lot better. Things are now starting to click a lot more. We're getting tougher, and pretty much we want to just bring out a name for ourselves to make sure like people know we're not soft and we're always going to be here night and day.
Yeah, that's come up a couple times. Soft finish. That's talked about in the interior, is that not?
Yeah, we pretty much always be like the second one on the floor, and we're always just been known for being a soft team that just shoots threes, go to the hole, not really attack, and not really get on the floor for loose balls, get steals, and do all that. So now we're at to the point where we know we can do all that and fight to get a win and also to have each other backs no matter what.
Do you hear it from other players, this soft thing, or do you hear it just from the chatter on Twitter?
Yeah, I just hear it through our social media. That's about it. And Coach Matt just sends it to us and let us know, like, this is what people are saying. We have to prove them wrong.
Tyshawn, this St. John's game, what did you learn from the first time you played and what you're going to play on Wednesday night?
Pretty much we just been soft. And St. John's, they came out, they punched us right in the mouth. They did everything they had to do to sit there and punk us, really. So now it's for our opportunity to come back out, especially on our home turf, and prove a message.
You and Mitch didn't shoot the ball well from three. I guess how disruptive is their length when you guys are trying to, get in your spots and get clean looks?
I mean, it's big, but pretty much me and him both know that what we need to do to sit there and find those looks. We need to just sit there and just keep moving, and also find each other no matter what it is. Even though sometimes we drive to the paint, and, like they always like slap and do all that type of stuff. We just need to be stronger and kick it out to each other, and also for our teammates as well.
Two more for him.
Ty, you had 7 boards, I think, against Georgetown. Do you remember was there a point of emphasis for you in that game to try to attack the glass?
Yeah, that, and also Coach Matt just told me like our point guard on the team averages more rebounds than me, so I have to bring my rebound percentage more up now. That's pretty much the main one.
The broadcast, on the telecast, they always put up the graphic of the improvement scoring per year and how big of a jump that you've made. Did you envision this large of a leap between year 1 and year 2?
No, not really. I thought Taz was going to end up staying another year, and me and Mitch was going to have to play like equal minutes. But I pretty much just try to prepare myself for whether this had to come or not.
Thanks, Ty.
Thank you.
Keep it on. Appreciate it.